going to say that each country has national points of contact for those calls. So
Yeah.
depending on which country you're interested or the whole institution is, you can contact directly people dealing with the calls and the proposals. And sometimes it's really useful because they're used to show people the path. So have this in mind.
Yes. 12%, 13%. That's, I mean, there are some variations because the money for the different calls is predetermined, and sometimes you have a larger number of applications to that call, but it's never going in the last years below 10%. And in some cases, it goes all the way up to 14, 15%.
Are the funds that are acquired exonerated from any taxes?
Excuse me?
Are the funds that could be acquired exonerated from taxes?
Well, what you have in the grants, that is quite specific. What you have in the grant is that 25% of the grant, it goes to the host institution as overhead, indirect cost. If the rest is money you have to pay salaries, and that's the full salary with the taxes that salaries have to pay. Then the consumables, you pay it with the taxes you have to pay, the things you buy. So yes, those are included in the costs of the project.
Yes. Is there a shortage of scientific researchers in Europe? That's why European Commission is promoting it. What's the situation? Is it shortage as compared to US number of researchers?
I wouldn't say there is a shortage. I think, you know, this is a very unique scheme because it's a scheme for frontier science and for scientists from anywhere in the world. So this is about science flowing, you know, frontier science moving to different countries, and for people for finding the best place to run with the research, the best opportunities. So that's why we are here. We do not discriminate anyone by nationality, race, or age. So if you're a top scientist, this is an opportunity that you can apply to, you can go for.
For example, one situation, if I apply now, I'm working here in the United States, I apply for one grant, I get it, but I would like to stay here to finish my work for 1 year, 1 year and a half. Can I do?
Normally the idea is that once you get the letter, the happy letter saying congratulations, you got the grant, from that moment, the moment of the letter arriving, the expectation is that most of the projects are signed within 6 months of receiving that letter. But it's the expectation. There are circumstances, because evidently some people are not based in Europe, and they have moved with their families, so there is a certain understanding. In general, I have seen projects starting 1 year after receiving the happy letter, not too much longer, because again, this is about frontier science, about something very novel. If you wait too much sitting around, will be that still so novel after 2 years of...
The question is, you can get the money, because I thought that you said that maybe
the money.
That you have to come 50% of the time in one institution of Europe, but the other 50% can you be on?
Yeah. No, that's okay.
You get the money, and you can come back here and stay 1 year and come back.
Yes, but you have to, I mean, if you get the money, you want to already start with your research. You don't want the clock ticking with nothing happening, so... But if we are going to get, because I have to alert, and I forgot to alert at the beginning, I'm still here tomorrow morning, so if someone wants to have a more one-to-one interview, I will be happy to take those. I think there is somewhere a place to inscribe your name. And I'm also going to be here after this for the cocktail, so please feel free to come and ask me as many questions as you want. A last question, and then we are moving into the start of the night.
So what is the timeline after application deadline closes until the end of step 1 and eventually step 2?
I'm calculating it in my mind right now. I would say since the call deadline until the step 1 meeting is around 3 months, 3 to 4 months. And then there are 3 months between, 2 to 3 months between the steps. And then 1 month after that, you get your letter, if you make it all the way through. So it's a relatively short timeline since the deadline.
Sure, other question.
Yes.
Can you collaborate? I mean, for instance, I'm working here and I get the grant. Can I continue collaborating and transfer some of my grant, like, to a consortium?
No, that's not the idea of the ERC grants. Basically, the ERC grants is to give the opportunity to individuals to develop their research, their independent research career.
It's just for hiring people in your own institution.
No, sometimes you can have collaborators in other institutions, but you have to justify what is going to be their role in their project. I mean, it's very common that there are people that have unique expertise sitting in other places of Europe or in other places on the world, but you have to justify the purpose of that. It cannot be just dropping names for dropping names. It has to be well linked to that very ambitious idea. Thank you very much.